They want men to be weak because here's why. They want men to be weak because if you have a weak society, like if you want to break a society, the first thing that you do is you make the men weak. And the other thing that you do is you over-sexualize the society. That's why, and they've done this on purpose. That's why, like in schools, they'll be like, oh no, like porn is it's healthy. It's normal to watch porn, right? Like, you know, masturbate as much as you can. Okay, cool. So you're going to lower your testosterone. And the most important thing is you are going to bring about a feeling of shame. And on the spectrum of emotion, shame is the worst thing you can feel. Guilt is above shame. Because shame means fundamentally I'm a bad person. It is the worst. And when men operate out of shame, you know, I studied a lot of Jungian psychology. I'm a big fan of Jung. When you operate out of shame, you can't do anything, right? And that's why you've got these men, and then it becomes this downward spiral where it's like, you know, I put something up on my story the other day about video games, and it's like, and you get all these people who are suffering from, you know, they're feeding off their own copium of like, no, video games helps me socialize. Video games lets me relax, blah, blah, all that. And it's just, because I had no Wi-Fi at home, I literally built my entire business off the hotspot from my phone. So yeah, I had this super weird childhood where like I was living in an affluent area. We had no warm water, no heating. My stepdad cut my Wi-Fi off. My mom was bouncing between, she worked like summer temporary jobs, minimum wage, Harrods. At some point she was receptionist at Chelsea Westminster Hospital. At some point when things were really bad, we basically applied and got government benefits. Like we got approved for that. So it was this super, super weird childhood where like I had no money at all, but then I was also going to private school. So I was around so much wealth. So I think that's why I had a very, 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 very difficult childhood. It's a very difficult childhood having to take care of me and my mom, but I had the luckiest childhood because I had the perfect mix of like, I had no choice. Like the things I've done, I always tell people like the things I've done, you don't do unless you've been through like some really traumatic stuff and you really, really push. And by the way, the other thing I will say is a lot of people try to downplay people that come from, or children that come from wealthy families. And I always say like, I think it's equally, if not more challenging because everything's set. The thing that I would say to someone who's looking at me is like, do what I did 8 years ago, which is like the fundamentals, and do what you did 3 years ago, which is, and that's why you're here today. And by the way, like it would be very interesting if we were sat here and I was like 8 years into self-development, business, this, that, and we had you at 8 years, right? Because I guarantee if you 8 years sat here with me at 8 years, bro, you probably be much farther ahead than I am, right? So I don't look at it as like age. I look at it as like, how long have you been doing this stuff? So yeah, I mean, for like, it's a long road. And this is why like I love a lot of the, you know, one of my passions is kind of like, I don't know the way to describe like the whole manosphere world. Because it's like, as a man, you're not shit in this world. Like, you are not fucking anything. And no one will give you an ounce of fucking pity. You're here and you gotta make it on your own, right? And as a man, you just go brick by brick by brick by brick, year on year on year, and then you look back and you know you've accomplished something. But yeah, you can either just keep circle jerking and you know stay in that loop for years and years, but at some point you gotta face the sobering reality that like you as a man have been brought into this world and you gotta create your own value. You know, even little things from the age of 7 or 8 years old, like I would refuse to turn my, like if a Ferrari would drive by, I would never turn my head. I would never look at a Ferrari. I would never, let alone take a photo. Like for me, it was like, if I put too much importance on this, I'm saying that I'm not deserving of it. So I was doing this at like the age of 7, 8. So for me, money was never a question of, oh, am I gonna be wealthy? Like I knew unequivocally 100% without a fact that I was gonna be wealthy. I'm just 10 years ahead of my game plan. Go to my YouTube, go to, the thing that lets you arrange by, and go oldest to newest. And go watch my videos when I was 15. I've been making YouTube videos since 2014 or 2015. And go watch me when I was 15 years old, taking the bus to Bricks and Bookmongers here in London because I couldn't afford to buy a brand new book for £12. So instead I would go get 6 used books for that exact same price. And go watch me as I'm like, literally, there's videos of me in 2016 where I'm like, my goal is to make 15,000 this year. And I was like, I thought it was in the year, not a month, in the year. And I thought that was the craziest thing ever, right? And I'd say the biggest thing that someone can do is like, prove yourself you're right once and set the bar really low.
You know, like a lot of people, for example, they want to wake up at like 5 a.m. Okay, no, wake up at 9. But don't ever hit snooze. Like for the next 6 months, don't hit snooze once. But just set the bar really low of like, hey, I woke up at 9. I woke up when I said I was going to wake up. Like really all it is just keeping promises to yourself.
I am you just 8 years on, right? Like people look at my age and they're like, you know, I just turned 22 and they're like, oh, this is crazy. I'm like, well, I mean, yeah, but also 8 years ago, I started reading a book a week, right? So it's like, I don't look at my age. I look at how long have you been doing something, right? So you gotta look at how long have I been doing something. Before I even had, you know, that business, you know, the first business that I ever started 5.5 years ago, I was reading a book a week. I was going to gym pretty much 6 times a week, reading a book a week, going to gym 6 times a week, meditating anywhere from 30 to 60 minutes a day. I don't even do that now.
By the way, in the same way, like I think if someone wants to go out and like get drunk and stuff like that, and you're happy with your life, if you're genuinely happy with your life, bro, go do it. Like I'm happy with the progress I made. I'm gonna do it. But when I was building my businesses, I would not be getting drunk.
Yeah.
Right. So in the same way, dude, if you're very happy with where you are in life and you've accomplished all the things and you're the person that you want to be and you want to play video games, go for it. But if you're not proud of who you are, then stop playing the fucking video games.
Yeah.